Hey, thanks for joining us again. I want to again direct our attention to a passage of Scripture that deals with the emotion of anger. In Proverbs chapter 22, verses 24 through 25, it says, "Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not associate with one easily angered, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared." The passage really is talking about our relationships with others and how they influence us and affect us. And I think we've all found ourselves in a situation where we're relating to a friend, or maybe standing in line at a store with somebody, or maybe online in your classroom, and emotions get ramped up and we start talking about certain things, and the influence of that relationship begins to affect us and maybe even take us down roads that we wouldn't normally go. The theme here, though, is dealing with those that we might find in our own sphere of influence who happen to fan the flames of being angry and driving us down paths that we probably shouldn't go down. And so sometimes we need to be really careful with the people that we associate ourselves with because of how they influence us, in particular as it relates to being angry. It says here, don't make friends with hot-tempered people. You know, sometimes we, I think, excuse ourselves or others by saying, well, that's just the way I am. You know, I'm quick, I'm sharp, I'm easily responsive to situations, and that's just the way God's made me. And yet here, God is warning us those kinds of people can influence us in ways in which we've got to be very, very careful. So somebody who's got a quick temper, if you begin to associate yourselves with them, they will lead you to be just like them. They will influence you in those ways. It says, don't associate with those who are easily angered. The same idea applies here. You know those people who it doesn't take much to set them off. And it may not be a dramatic situation or one that really warrants being angry, but sometimes the smallest things can just flip their switch. And I think that's the encouragement here. You got to be careful with those kinds of friends. Their quick temper might at times be appropriate and applicable to things that should make us angry as God's people, but sometimes those kinds of personalities just snap at one thing or another. So you've got to be really careful with those kind of friendships. God's warning us here, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared. I think the dynamic of friendships and associations is very clear in Scripture, that we've got to manage those well. So I want to pray for you today. I want to encourage you today to choose your associates carefully. Be wise with those that you become friends with, because they will influence you, they will affect you, they will lead you down some path. So God bless you today as you reflect on this Scripture.